On Tech Today, it's always our endeavor to really see which sector technology is disrupting all the time, whether it's auto, business, lifestyle, fashion. And then there's the creative world. There's Bollywood, there's filmmaking, there's so much to what technology can do to make your lives a whole lot easier and prettier. In this case, I'm here at the exclusive screening and Mami Select, where we've seen a bunch of films, and I kid you not, they've all been shot on an iPhone 15 Pro Max. And the creative geniuses who've really used this technology to the maximum are the legendary Vishal Bhardwaj and Prateek Vats. What a pleasure to have you on Tech Today, sirs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vishalji, I'm going to start off with you. This is a very interesting mix where you've mentored Prateek and the team to come up with Jaltu Jalaltu, which was absolutely, well, mind-boggling in terms of the output. From the low-light performance to the dynamic range to the stabilization, this is a masterpiece. Now, last year around, we saw on Fursat, is a film that was an award-winning film by you, shot on an iPhone 14 Pro. Every year, we keep telling our audience, should we upgrade from the 14 Pro to the 15 Pro? This one is a strong case to upgrade?
Yeah, I think the whole credit goes to Prateek. I've done nothing in this, and yeah, everything is done by him, and it's so beautiful. It's so deep. This film, it has such a deep layer of looking into the human psyche, and there's so many messages in this. So I'm so happy that I am a part of this. So to say that I'm a mentor is the wrong thing. I think he doesn't need any mentoring. He's an accomplished filmmaker, and you can watch, you can see his work. Yeah,
I think we've seen your work. Standing ovation. Congratulations to both of you, of course. And like Vishalji is giving you all the credit, it's fascinating that this was all done on an iPhone, and even the edit was done within the Apple ecosystem. So all of us tech enthusiasts are genuinely impressed and curious. Is this genuinely done on an iPhone? Not even one shot used that was not from an iPhone, maybe a Sony camera or something else?
No, not at all. No, but really, this new upgrade it's not just one generation. It's like they've lived 5-10 generations in one sort of model, and the kind of control it gives you over, like you said, low light, dynamic range. Just the ability to have so much control in post-production over colors, exposure, I think it's quite a leap in what we have in this new package, and it just empowers you to make the film you want to make. You know, that's the main criteria. And if somebody is just starting out and she's asking me, is this good enough? I will say, yeah, go for it, because the kind of control, and it's very liberating. So you had, technology which was liberating but not really producing the kind of results that you would like.
Right.
Or there were results, but it wasn't handy enough, flexible enough. So there's a good mix here which is happening, and I think which holds a lot of promise for all of us to explore and just see the results. You're holding it on big screen and it's spotless. It's just fabulous to look at it. So I'm very happy.
Well, all right, Vishalji, it's fascinating. And you started off, using all sorts of cameras, some of the massive projects you've worked on, documentaries and then feature films. And then now we're actually talking about a handheld device. The accessibility, the fact that you can just pull this out and start filming, where we often use them on the show as well. This is a game changer, right? And it only gets better from here.
Yeah, actually we are part of this technical revolution, if I can say. We are part of it, so we are not realizing, because we are riding on this wave. So we are part of this wave.
Yeah.
Once this wave hits the shore, and we get down on the shore and we look back, then we'll be able to analyze the part of revolution we are in right now. Because it's a technical revolution.
Is this something you could genuinely use in some of the feature films? These are some fantastic short films we've seen, but when you're doing the next Kamine, the next Saat Khoon Maaf, is this something that you could genuinely use as perhaps a camera, or maybe a secondary camera in a big project as well?
Actually, we have been doing that. We can't pinpoint that, but we have been using so many shots of iPhone in our films. When we go to a public place where we are not able to get a permission, or it's very difficult to get a permission, we do a guerrilla shoot, we go and shoot on iPhone.
It's good to know that some of the sound production principles that we follow, Vishalji also corroborates them as well. But Prateek, it's fascinating that, one, this was on an iPhone, but then let's talk about the edit process. right? Because I know within the Apple ecosystem, it gets very easy. You're using your iPhone, you have your AirPods, you have your Apple Watch, all of it is synced with iCloud, and it becomes much easier to go through that process. अगर आपने एक particular device पे कुछ shoot किया है AirDrop से, you can put it on the other one as well. Massive files. Before coming here, I was trying to edit my show. 10 GB, 20 GB of files straight onto my iMac. Does that really help as well that you're on the M3 Max? It's perhaps one of the best, strongest, most powerful laptops out there.
I don't know if this is one of the strongest. If this is one of the strongest, I don't know what the strongest is because it's clearly it's a fabulous machine. And it's difficult to put it in words because once we are editing and rendering and exports, and that takes a huge chunk of our time and headspace, And just to be in that ecosystem where this is not a hassle, you can do multiple things. It can handle multiple big resolution files, and you're not waiting. Everything is happening real time. So I can't put it in words how liberating that is. How easy it makes it.
Yeah.
How you want to see something, you take an export, you can share it. Everything happens very, very quickly. So even for like animators, gamers, this and that, if they push it, I think there's a lot for this machine is offering, and it's just about maximizing this machine to its fullest potential. I think it's a special machine. This is not something which we see normally.
Yeah.
I'm.
And also something special was the format and the aspect ratio with which you shot Jaltu Jalaltu, which I want to get to because that's a special story. Anton Chekhov connection. What was the genesis of that idea? If you could both walk us through it, Prateek and then Vishal sir as well.
So Genesis comes from Shubham, who's the writer of the film, co-director of the film. I think it was a chance meeting that he had once with an elder factory worker, and how he was insecure about others being younger and him not being able to like cope up with the changing dynamics
Right.
of it. So it starts off from there, and then there's a Chekhov story that we really like, but we just somehow thought that in 2024 the Chekhov story needs to be rewritten a little bit.
Absolutely.
And so it starts off from there, and coming to the ratio, the aspect ratio, I think because there's so many people in it, we really wanted some portrait shots, which gives us a sense of the people immersed in that space, in that factory, in that life factory. So this is something that we were interested in exploring, and I think it's worked out pretty well in terms of the story lends itself well to this kind of film.
No, it's a visual spectacle altogether, reminding you of the color TV days, the way the box was supposed to be. But as a last question, Vishalji, you see some of these stories that were told today, even the first film we saw at the premiere, Crossing Borders. These are fascinating human stories. Is it important to tell these stories a lot more, maybe in mainstream cinema? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the liberation is not just a technical liberation, that it frees you from so many hassles of hiring the equipment and, or a heavy or a big equipment. I think the bigger liberation is of telling the stories you want to tell. You can tell anything because you are not bound by the burden of the money or the equipment and
Right.
so many things. So one has to start this, that you have to think of the subject you want to make. So you can't have an excuse now that that I don't have the nobody is going to support me in making this kind of film. You can go and make the kind of film you want to make.
Absolutely.
Subject, I am saying in terms of the subject.
In terms of the subject, the content, and the formats now, you can shoot them clearly on your iPhone. What a pleasure to have this conversation with you guys. It's fascinating, reassuring for us tech enthusiasts to know that technology is becoming that leveler, is democratizing everything. An absolute pleasure if two absolute geniuses can back that thought as well. What a pleasure to have you on the show.
you.
Vishalji,
Thank
Prateek,
you.
more power to you. And please catch the film. It's available on YouTube as soon as this episode airs. I'll see you soon.